Hello. Merry Christmas Eve. It's not Christmas for me yet. We got a few hours. I don't know if anybody's here, but if anyone is here, hi, how are you? We're going to be playing random games again. I downloaded a bunch that were Christmas themed. So, we'll see how it goes. I'll get set up with the first one. Let's see. Move the mic closer to me. There we go. Is it going to be immediately loud? Most likely. Let's see. Okay, I turned it down already. Alright, sorry, Spotify. Where's it at? Jolly Night. This one's called Jolly Night. Okay. Was that the menu? I guess that was the menu. Okay. How do you know about my keyboard? Light fireplace, light garlands, decorate the tree, put on music, set plates, prepare sacrifice? Merry Christmas. Okay. So, first thing was light the fireplace. Well, this is the bathroom. What does that light do? Some of these lights don't do anything. Okay. Gotcha. What'd you say? Who said asshole? Oh, F for flashlight. Good. Oh, okay. Just a standard Christmas night. Or Christmas day. Is there a light switch? Can't turn the TV on. Can't turn that off. Can't leave. Excuse me. Okay. Ooh. That fire causes lag. That's cool. Okay. Oh, that's better. Down here. What's up, man? This is cool, I guess. Don't think there's anything else down here. Okay. That can wait. Baller. Hi, Caden. You seem to be enjoying that word today. A long ass ad. Just don't have ads. Easy. Keep the light on. Who is swearing? Can't do that. Alright. Welcome. Now that the ad is done. Done. Light garlands? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what garlands is. What this game about? I don't know. It's just a random horror game that's Christmas themed. And we have him. I'm not sure. It started out with us being told not to fuck around. Empty sacrificial stand. Possibly. It could be. Thanks, Gunter. I. On my computer, anything could be a Bitcoin miner. It was an Bitcoin mine. What is it? Okay. Somebody tell me what a garland is. Just a garland. Don't know what that is. What are you doing here, by the way? You're just there. Alright, I'll check down here again. Hey, buddy. Okay, I didn't actually expect you to move. Okay. Clicked on him. God, that made my heart jump. I don't know what a garland or whatever, like garlands. I don't know what that is. So far, he's not moving, so I think I'm fine with looking away from him. Still don't know. Oh, there's another one of you. Use Google. Yeah, but my computer is shit. If I open up a web browser, everything's gonna break. Hey, buddy. My phone is for streaming as well. I'm nothing but a flashing. Wow. I'm nothing but a flashlight. You don't do anything when I click on you. TV, VR. Nothing in the fridge. I'm lost. Gonna be honest, I'm a little lost. Yeah, but you think I'm gonna pull up my TV in the other room to Google shit, Caden? Okay, cool. Decorate the tree. Apparently that did it. Oh, it's just like the lights and everything. Okay, that's, I mean, it's... God, it's laggy. Okay, where's my tree at? Okay, I need to find decorations. Where are my decorations at? Are they also down here? I'll just keep my flashlight on. Decorations. Oh, there we go. Got it. Oh, you moved. Okay. Didn't scare me this time, buddy. Ah, it's beautiful. Alright, what's next? Put on music. I know the radio is upstairs. I actually know it's right here. I guess that doesn't count. Use cats as Huma. Huma shield. Oh, is it over here? Game lag. No record. Put a record on. There we go. Fuck of. You're doing it to yourself, Caden. Set plates. Laggy ass game. Okay. Boom. Good tea. Got sick earlier, but I'm fine. Prepare sacrifice. Come here, Caden. We gotta sacrifice you. Is the stuff I gotta sacrifice down here? Looks like it. Oh, hey, buddy. What is the cursing I just heard? Why? That was stupid as shit. Just random jump scares now. Oh, they're ready for the sacrifice. Oh, it's still not prepared. What do I need to do? What else do I need to do? What else is needed for the sacrifice? Oh, I had to light it. Christmas Santa! Bow down to Santa. Stitch! The animation froze. OBS doesn't like anything right now, but happy holidays! Merry Christmas! Oh, everything's breaking. This game is fucking my computer up. There it goes. God. I'm doing good, Stitch. How are you doing? God, my voice. Oh, 24-month streak. You're right. 2 years. Let's go! Oh, God. This game is eating my computer. What is this? Children brains. It is a Bitcoin miner. Prepare sacrifice. Do I? Oh, I have to feed them, don't I? I have to feed them children brains. Merry Christmas! It's the mannequin! Oh, okay. I think that was the whole game. Because I think that was what the menu looked like. Yep, that was the whole game. I'm closing it. Okay. OBS, you can survive now. Please. God. Hopefully the other games aren't that laggy. That'd be nice. Stitch, you have a good Christmas Eve? Yeah, I'm not surprised, Caden. I'm not surprised. I need a new computer bad. Real bad. It was an Bitcoin miner. You didn't have a good Christmas Eve? Damn. Just a regular day. I mean, mine kind of was too. I went to, I did some family stuff, but it wasn't much. Time zones, Caden. Time zones. It is still Christmas Eve for me. And I think Stitch is in the same time zone as me. I think. When I say Christmas, I mean, you know, just holiday. Santa Day. Oh, hell yeah. Stitch outfit? Hell yeah. Well, at least enjoy the holiday, Caden. Enjoy the holiday. I don't know how to put it. I guess I celebrate Christmas, but like, I'm not religious or anything, so I don't know. I always called it Christmas, so whatever. If you guys seen the announcement in the Discord server, I put like the plans for Christmas Eve and Christmas. All right, guys, 1 through 10. Give me a random number out of 1 through 10. We got to decide the next game. All right, 5. Okay, gotcha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shelf Watcher. Hopefully this runs better than the previous game. We'll be fine. Spooky Christmas. Spooky Christmas. Hold on. There we go. Do I download the most mentally? I'm sure you meant mentally. Mentally unstable games. I just grab random games from itch.io.
Oh God, I'm gonna.
Oh man. All right, Shelf Watcher. Spooky, spooky. Most of these I didn't even read the descriptions of, so I just seen. Oh, it looks like Christmas horror. Let's play it. Wasn't as loud as you were hoping. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's Josh. He did the thing where he joined, said it, and then immediately left. Hey, Josh. How you doing? What's the loudest? I mean, I could turn it up on this end, but it would deafen me. I did. Very briefly, I heard you. Alright, let's go ahead. Caden? No. I need to put the elf on the shelf above the fire. You can't even see it. I'm the elf on the shelf. There he is. He pain and suffering. It bring me joy. Well, it's not gonna be my pain and suffering. Well, I'll say I get enough pain and suffering trying to read anything you send in chat. Low-key match. I know, right? Look at that. Woo! Twinsies. Twinning. There we go. There he is. I'm hungry. I didn't read it. I'm sure it said get some food from the kitchen or something. I need to heat this up in the oven first. Okay, cutscene. Time for bed. Wait a second. He's not there anymore. That's Stitch right there. How did he get here? I need to put him back on his shelf. Get back on your shelf, Stitch. I didn't read what it said. I was too busy looking at the monstrosity that was put in chat by Caden. Good sire, but your skyable bubbacult googly doodle is mind-boggling. Thy baller in thy freezer, while skibbity in my phantom tax. I don't want a lot for Christmas. All I need is yogurt. Time for bed. I'm gonna shut this before Stitch, the elf on the shelf, comes to get me. Asterismus. What is that noise? Oh, Stitch, what are you doing? Trying to watch some TV. Don't you know it's bedtime? Uh-oh. It's dark. That was such a short game. I think the ad break was playing, and it ruined it. I think the ad blocked the end of the game for everyone. Oh man. I fucking knew you downloaded the most mind-boggled fuck ramped doodle googling gawking fucking shit short game. That was Shelf Watcher. Oh sweet. It said ad break happened, so I don't know. Alright, 1 through 9, guys. Man, some of these I don't know what's gonna go on in these games. Just downloaded whatever games are on the homepage. 1 through 9. 1.5? Okay, then 1 through 2. Alright, that's closer to 2. We'll do 2. How to build a snowman. It's an Unreal Engine, so my computer might explode. Alright, let's see. Where's it at? Where's it at? How to build a snowman. Do you want to build a snowman? I don't know the other words. It has been so long since I have heard the song. How to build a snowman, guys. It's a tutorial video now. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, this was all a scheme to tell you guys how to build a snowman. Let's start. Mommy, it's snowing! It's snowing! Okay, there we go. It is, sweetie. Grandpa would have loved to go out to the snow. Want to go out there and make a snowman? You told me Grandpa explained to you how to make them. Yes, Mommy, thank you. Let's go build a snowman, guys. First step is building the body. Some snowballs should do. Let's roll some. There we go. Taco time. There's one. Let's add one more. You ain't gotta say that, Caden. So you know. And now a last one for the head. Out of all the things that could have, like, you know, that my auto mod likes to block, it didn't block that, you know. That's enough. That's enough. Time to make the body. Yeah, like the name Bill. It didn't want the name Bill. This is taking shape, but I still need to decorate it. What do I need? Let's see. A hat? Do I hear breathing? There we go. Hello? Oh well, I think we'll be fine. Yes, I'm behind you. Why? Big ass carrot. Is there anything else in here? Caden, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know. Ooh, we got some rocks. And now for the most important piece, the heart. We have a heart now. What the fuck? Oh, I almost forgot about the arms. Yeah, I was about to say, we didn't even put arms on the thing. There might be something in Grandpa's old tool shed that can do. Alright. Yeah, I mean, real arms. But, yeah, those ain't arms. Where did he go? Why? I can't grab this. Frosty? Toby, why did you build the snowman there? You know I don't want the snow inside the house. I didn't build it here. He just moved by himself. Sure, sweetie. Just be careful, okay? It's really cold out there. I will. Bye, Mom. Snowman, are you really alive? I think that was a yes. Toby has built his snowman further. He dragged a lot of snow near it, too. Freezing out there. I should tell him to come. Toby, where are you? Come back inside for a bit. You're going to get a cold. Toby, can you hear me? Oh, I'm playing now. Okay. That was fast. Toby! Toby? Where are you, Toby? Where did the snowman go, Toby? Uh-oh. No, he can't be there. He might be in his room. You don't want to double check? Toby's. I don't know, Caden. My father told me he had a loft down there, but I never have entered. Maybe Toby found it and hidden there. We're not gonna say anything about the snowman just, appearing behind us and shit, right, Martha? What the fuck? Hello, Martha. You're reading this. I'm either long gone or dead. And if I have to guess, it is winter and little Toby built his first snowman following my indications. A war is being held, hun. A war that has lasted millennia. A war you must win. What is that war, Robert? Order of the Flake? What's going on? Once very long ago, what? Ons the snow? Ons the snow. Fuck this game lore. Oh, fuck you, Cade. Fuck you. He who carries the cold began consuming our planet, transforming it into a white, freezing landscape where species started dying to the coldest air the world had ever seen. Oh, well, there you go. This process lasted years. We now call it the Ice Age. Caden wrote this shit. See, look, it blocked "man, fuck you," but didn't block the literal slur he said earlier. What the fuck? Ugh. Okay, that was all on that one. The human shamans found a way to stop this deity. They were able to catch Ons the Snow's essence into a magical rock and separate it from the physical body, turning the giant freezing figure of white skin into billions of small, cold particles. We now call those snow, and each year it returns from the sky, awaiting to reclaim its caged soul. I assume I go into the dark hallway. Oh. Oh, I can't move. I can't move! Oh, I'm on an elevator. Oh, you got added. Oh. And add. It grew arms, yeah. What the hell is this place? And what was that thing? Dad, what have you done? Keep changing the voice. Which way do I go? Do I go around? Okay. However, the so-called heart rock cannot hold the deity's essence for more than a year, and so we free it, reunite it to the body, trap it again inside. I knew I wouldn't be with you this Christmas, so I managed to make little Toby believe snowmans need a heart, and that it was the rock. Our family descends from the shamans, hun. We are damned with this weight. We are the ice layer between the surface and a cold, deep sea of emptiness. Welcome to the Order of the Flake, Martha Stevenson, the shaman. I think, like, it reads as a note, but it's playing like a tape. I chime in! I chime in! To trap the essence into the rock again, we need Ons the Snow to gain power. We need to reunite his body. 4 snowballs might be enough for a starter. Roll them under the red arrow, and he may arrive. I know you can make him go away again, just as I did. Just as we all did. The world depends on you, my sweet daughter. Make that snow melt again. I don't know if a gun would work. I think the bullet would just go through the snow. Somebody once told me. But yeah, it looks like a tape player, a tape deck, but it reads as a note. All right, let's get some snow. The flamethrower, I don't know. I guess it would be the soul that's the problem. Fucking Samsung. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Ah! I forgot I'm supposed to roll them to the arrow. I noticed that, Caden. Yeah, I looked over whenever it happened. Okay, I gotta roll it to the arrow. I forgot. There we go. I'm gonna back away because that is a complete snowman that is over there. A cock? Are we just ignoring the snowman there? Okay, let me roll a ball over there. Quasick! Use your nuke! Alright, well. I'm sure it's fine. What the fuck? Oh my god! I don't like that. Merry Christmas, Caden. I'm sure nothing bad will He's gone. Hi, buddy. Okay. Well, well, well. If it isn't the new shaman. Welcome to the family, Martha Stevenson. What are you supposed that's me saying that. Whoops. What are you supposed to be? A god. A monster. A breeze. The end of your world. And oh, was I close to feast on this infested green and minuscule sphere in the middle of nowhere? So much lives, so much souls to feast on. What a meal, I said. And still, as I... He looks like a demonic creature. I think that was the point, Caden. Josh! And still, as I ate, your species caught me into this cage, this shining rock. But I have patience, Martha, and I waited for so... and I waited for so long, and I'm hungry, so hungry. Humanity and I aren't so different. Each snowflake, as each human is unique. So different, yet so small, so useless, irrelevant, if I may. And yet, each of them compose something bigger, working for something greater, still vulnerable, separated. This is quite the dialogue. You humans will be a great piece to my snow, the only species that contained me. I'll tell the tale around the universe. Honestly, you have my fascination. But now, I shall eat. Oh, I think I should run. Not that way. Where do I go? Caden, I think it's self-explanatory. Oh, it opened. It opened. Oh, okay. Okay. Is the audio not playing? What? Oh my god, audio was muted the whole fucking time, guys. Damn it! So we'll go back and play the previous game that was like, you know, a minute long so you guys can hear it. But aren't you tired of running, Martha? You know what? Hold on. Better idea. We're gonna speedrun it so you guys can experience it all with me. The game crashed immediately. Oh, it has a checkpoint right here. Okay. Here. No one told me there was no fucking audio. Aren't you tired of running, Martha? Won't you just stop trying? You don't have the hard rock, you don't know how to use it. Let's stop screwing around. Give yourself to me. Leave behind the heat, the sweat, the effort, the endless chase for survival. All of you have been doing that since your primal times. Why would I ever do that? I will catch you once again, just as Dad did. Oh, Robert, what a man. You have his eyes and his bravery, too. Seems natural in all of you shamans. But you don't have to follow that painful path he took. It's like rocks clashing. It causes a spark. It makes them smaller. Idiotic strategy that you humans have done since your beginnings. Snow, though, when it clashes, it doesn't break. It joins into one. It gets bigger, greater. Stop using rocks, Martha. Join my snowball. Let's see how big we can go. I would prefer dying. That's a fun statement. You would have died either way. So as you... What was that? Mom, grab the heart! Toby, are you okay? You are okay! Ironic. Who is going to be in a rock now? Oh, did I miss something, huh? Oh, you have to go, Stitch? Oh, okay. Merry Christmas! We will miss you, Stitch. No. I'm not scared, Martha. I can wait another year. I can wait 10 years. I can wait till Tobias takes your role. But I want you to know, as I told your father, I will be here. When you see the children playing with the snow, giving it shapes, you will think of me. You will remember me. Thus, you will fear each year for me to arrive. Merry Christmas, Martha Stevenson, the shaman. See you next year. Hey, why didn't anybody tell me I had the audio muted the whole fucking time? No one told me. Damn it. Alright. That one was good. I liked that one. Caden, your opinion doesn't matter. Never did, never will. Anyways, 1 through 8, guys. Somebody pick a number. Why are you here, Caden? 3. Got you. That is Santa's present. Yeah, Santa's present. I don't need it from you, Caden. Don't need it from you. I don't know. I don't know. Wrong 2, buddy. I'll be like I'll be genuine here. I would much rather have like kind-hearted people in my chat rather than someone always being rude with everything they say. That's just me being honest. Like, we've already had a situation with you, Caden. But, like, I let you stick around. So, I'm not one for, you know, a toxic community or having toxicity in my chats or server, things like that. But that's just me being, like, genuine, honest about it. Anyways, let's get back to games. I would prefer you not to be rude or toxic. That's all. This game made it 2 minutes. It looks like it. Let's see how good it'll be. We'll see. Santa's Present is what this one's called. Eat, interact. Is that Q? Q to open list, I think. Okay. Looks like it's going for the PS1 aesthetic, which I'm fine with. I like those. Was it Q? O, tab? I don't have a list yet, I guess. The door pushed me. What is that a dildo? Is that a dildo? Whoa! Ooh! Merry Christmas. Let me check the other rooms before. Oh, I can. Damn. Gonna 1 out of 10 game. I can't flush the toilet. Can I leave? Why am I using those products? Well, I'm not. Obviously, it's under the bed. Duh. Need piss mechanics. What game did we play that had piss mechanics? Wasn't it one of the, what was it called? Fears to Fathom? Didn't that have a piss mechanic? Prepare a gift to Santa. Place the cookies on a plate under the Christmas tree. Hang a star on the Christmas tree. The star lies in the box. Yeah, there has been a few. Alright, the plate's already here. Can't crouch or anything, so. I have to put it on a plate by itself. Do I click? What do I do? Place the cookies on a plate under the Christmas tree. Okay, well. I think Santa's a dog? Damn. I can't drop them. Can I put them in the toilet? I don't think there's a crouch button. I had to interact with the tree. That didn't make sense. Now, how do, it said, is it this box? Oh, who is it? Hello? Ooh! A box! Weird, why was it there? Okay, well I've got it now. Merry Christmas. What? Santa! He shit in my toilet and then left. Santa? He's not behind me. He's eating the fucking cookies. Santa? Hi. Oh, that was it. Oh, I wish it did more. It was actually kind of good. I already played Where's Larry? Let's Find Larry or whatever. It was last stream. But I wish it did more. It was all right. That's about it. I know, Caden. It's crazy. All right. 1 through 7. Six. Unwrapping Christmas. I'm gonna go to chat screen for a second while I'm getting it set up. Alright, there we go. Get the game up. What Pissarro Mechanic game with PS1 graphic called again? I think it was it was episode. Is there 4 episodes of Fears to Fathom out now? It's either 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. Both of those had piss mechanics. Settings, that's just volume. Okay, I think we'll be fine. Let's go. Unwrapping Christmas. Ho ho ho. What, Fears to Fathom? Again? I don't know. Replaying games on stream, like, especially like recent, because it wasn't that long ago. I think the VOD is still on YouTube, so you could rewatch if you want. Introduction. We play as a man named Luke that bought a small cabin in the middle of the forest in California, USA, to spend more time in the nature. Luke loves nature, animals, and going on trips. He only has a brother that lives in the city and hasn't seen him for a long time. His parents both died in a car accident when he was 16. Yep, just throw that in there. It is Christmas night, and you are getting ready for Christmas. Space to start. You'll probably see me play the next episode of Fears to Fathom whenever it comes out, because I enjoy those games. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha, ha, ha. I just bought this cabin in the forest to spend more time in the nature. The area around creeps me out sometimes, but I enjoy spending the winter in this cabin. I am so happy that Christmas is coming. In a one-horse open sleigh, hey! A photo of Bobita Bob. Pa-daddy, pa-daddy! I don't want to sleep now. I should order Christmas ornaments from my laptop. I don't like any type of music. I only like the ones without lyrics. Josh Miller, young man gone missing on Christmas night. Don't care.
Yeah. Oh no, chiamo puta culo. Io muore tu popinosi. Ora vuelve.
What the fuck? Generic song. Is that the same one? Well. Ornaments. Let's order everything. Wow. That was fast. Everything went flying. Oh my god, I can fly on it. Hold on. What's in here? A tarlet. Damn it, I can't flush it or anything. Burger. Borgir. Can't wait to go on trips. It'll be so fun walking around this area, but I'm a bit scared of the bears. I knocked my water over. Luckily, it's a water bottle. Borgir. Can't use the shower either. I haven't seen my brother in a long time. I called him a few days ago, but that's all. I hope he is well. Photo of Abby. Cookies. Photo of Dorian Popa. I don't know how to. to say things. How do I decorate? Ah, I place it. Okay. Yeah, highlights where I need to put it. Cool. Did it get placed? What happened? Alright. Go to sleep soon, so turn off the lights before sleeping. Let me shut the door as well. Good night. I have to turn off the lights. I have to turn off all the lights. Light switches. Here we go. Is that all of them? $2:30. I heard noises. What was that sound? The fuck? Was that the Half-Life scientist screaming? Help, Josh the Santa. Santa. I took the Santa hat, and I'll take the med kit. Alright, outside we go. Yeah, I have a blanket to protect me. Alright, I guess it's straight ahead. Looks like there are some steps on the ground. Ooh, okay. That's to the forest. I'm gonna get you! They're still going forward. Found a present next to my tent. It had a note that said, "Open." I found a weird looking Santa hat. What the? Santa Josh. I took one too. Should I have not taken it? Okay. Okay. Peekaboo. We're going this way. We're not going to turn back or anything. Oh my god! Is that a dead reindeer? Seems like the storm is getting stronger. I should return soon. Oh shit. Okay. Damn trees! Just blocking the path. Why are all the trees falling? This is where I seen Santa earlier. Oh my god. I knew you'd fall. I knew it. Oh my god. Camp. I need to keep going forward. You gonna fall? Something fell. Oh my god! Santa! A heart in the microwave. God, it's loud. I can't. Why do I have to go to sleep immediately? Okay. Sure, why not?
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
You deserve to suffer the same as your brother, Santa Josh. Ending 1, the alone ending. This is what you deserve. My precious reindeer is dead. Your brother might as well join him. You will all join them eventually. Don't worry, it is just a matter of time. 1 year and everything will be over, over, friend. Santa Josh. Okay. Let's try to get a different ending this time. Alright. Order stuff.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we
There we
go, laughing all the way. The bells on
Shut up.
bobtail ring, they make our spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells,
Should I decorate
jingle
more?
bells, jingle all the
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to buy more instead. Because it looks like there's a lot of decorations I can do. You know, there's 2 of these. At least 2 of these.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open.
Burger. I can get like... Okay, I can keep decorating. Okay, cool. And more places I can put Santa. Okay, there's one over here. Okay, let's order another thing of lights and another Santa hat. Okay, I don't think anything goes in the bathroom then. Okay. Okay. Other than right there, is there another Santa hat place? Right there. Okay, let's get another Santa hat. Just because I have the money, I'll get another one of these. Okay. Where can I put it, though? Aha! That's all I can order, right? Yeah. Okay. Turn off the lights and go to sleep. Lights here, I forgot. Am I checking this? What is this? Okay. hot in my room. God. Here, give me a second. I'm gonna step away for a second. I might look stupid. Hold on. Okay. I was turning the heat off. The noise again. Can't turn the lights on. Oh, that's what the jump scare was earlier. Josh the Santa and Santa. Which one should I open? I don't know what kind of ending I'm going to get depending on what present, I guess. So Santa or Josh the Santa? Wasn't it Santa Josh that had the bad ending? Am I opening up Josh? Okay. I'll take the med kit. Ignore the hat. There's the footprints again. Tower and camp. Let's go check out the tower. I wonder who stays in this tower. Must be creepy to stay here in the night. Lost dog. Can I go up here? I can. No fall damage. Cool. Let's check out the camp. Camp is this way. Okay. We have a camp in the forest. The area around is weird. We brought a lot of food and clothes. It is really cold out here. Nothing else? Okay. Let's start following the footsteps then. Found a present next to my tent. It had a note that said open. I found a weird looking Santa hat. What the? Hey, Santa. I remember you, Santa. There it is. So, reindeer is still dead. Oh, I have the med kit. Can't use it for some reason. I think I need something. I don't have the hat this time. Hey, buddy. Okay, well, next time, let's do the hat. I can jump over the trees. Okay, that's good to know. Santa! I remember you were here. Alright, next time we'll get the Santa hat. So we can, I guess, use that. But I healed the reindeer this time. Wonder if that does anything for me. Different ending, hopefully. You're not there this time. Okay. There's no heart this time. Okay. Look under the Christmas tree! Thank you for helping my reindeer. Merry Christmas, Santa Josh.
Dashing through
Woo!
the snow in a one-horse
Wow, a chainsaw!
o'er the fields we go,
A donut!
laughing all the way.
A sailboat!
Bells on bobtail ring.
A mug or whatever. Burger. I got a backpack. I can't wait to go on trips with it.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to
Wow.
ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Is there another one?
Jingle bells, jingle bells,
I looked like I had the option. What am I missing?
ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
What am I missing? Oh, okay.
Day or two
Merry Christmas ending. Merry Christmas. Thank you for helping my reindeer. I hope you will have fun in your last year. My last year? Santa Josh. My last year. Alright, speed run. Get the Santa hat this time.
dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Ha ha ha.
Bells on bobtail ring, they make our spirits bright.
Not worried about decorating this time. Let's sleep. Can't skip this. Oh, why did it get so hot in my place? God. My throat hurts from getting sick earlier today. That shit sucked. Alright, I have a Santa hat. Getting sick. Shortcut. I don't know if this shortcut is actually where I need to go, but I'll hope so. Very eerily quiet. Okay, it looks like it goes this way. Alright. Heal! E to enter sleigh. Am I Santa now? Whee! Santa! Santa for eternity. Welcome, human. I am not who you think. I come from another dimension, and I am here to rule this world. Did you really think that someone delivers all those presents in just one night? You will now join me, and you will... It missed the other L. Will replace Josh, that somehow managed to almost kill my reindeer and destroy the sleigh. I hope you will manage to do better than him. Next year, we will destroy this world, but first I have to build myself an army. Santa. Yay! I think that's all the endings. I'm going to assume that's 3 endings right there. Alright. That was good. That was actually pretty good. I like that. Alright. 1 through 6. Four. That's not Santa. From what I've seen, this was made in like a very short amount of time. It's probably just going to be like some meme game. But I found it and downloaded it anyways. So, let's see. Let's see how memey it really is. Oof. Okay, there we go. Turned it down. Well, we're off to a good start. Alright, let's see. That's not Santa. It looks like it has the same base as the previous one. Pressing E. Banana, some cookies.
Ah! Oh, Lord, you frightened me, child. I was just dropping off your gifts. I am Santa, and after such a long night of delivering gifts to young children, I am parched. Do you think you could get me something to drink?
I'm gonna go back to sleep. This is the same house as the previous game. It's the exact same house. Andy's rat poison. Click to pick up or drop. Do you want some milk?
Oh no, it seems that I dropped the milk and made a little messy-wessy.
Don't say
Would
that.
you mind grabbing Santa a towel from the bathroom so I can clean up this mess?
Josh. Josh, is that you? Just spam E. Where did Santa go? Well, quote unquote Santa. Why he come?
Now let's play a little game of hide and seek. I'm going to hide, and you're going to find me.
It just cut off. Alright, where are you at, Santa? Are you in my closet? No? Oh.
You found me. Try again.
Okay, Santa. Where could Santa be?
Dang it, you found me again. I'm gonna hide one more time, and if you find me, you win.
I win!
Oh, dang it, you win. Meet me in the living room.
Hey, Santa.
Ooh, good job playing hide and seek. But after all that hiding and seeking,
Yeah?
I'm quite hungry. Do you think you could bring me some cookies? But before you bring them to me,
Yeah?
Could you sprinkle a little bit of sugar on them? Make sure it's sugar, not anything else.
Rat poison. Okay. Kill. Can't even grab the cookies. Oh, I have to. Okay. Rat poison.
I'm at the
I'm about to come.
Ah! Oh, Lord, you frightened me, child. I
Speedrunning, quote unquote, Santa.
Oh no, it seems that I dropped the milk and made a little messy
Wessy.
wessy. Would you mind grabbing Santa a towel from the bathroom so I can clean up this mess?
I have to clean it up.
Now let's play a little game of hide and seek. I'm going to hide. And you're going you found
All playing at the same
me.
time.
Try again. Dang it, you found me again. I'm gonna hide one more time, and if you find me, you win. Oh, dang it, you win. Meet me in the living room.
Ooh, good job playing hide and seek. But after all that hiding and seeking, I'm quite hungry.
Here you go. Breaking news, Skinwalker on the loose. I don't think that was Santa. Yo, this was the bad ending, so go get the good one. There has been a Skinwalker located in Splam County. Murder is good. Okay, what if I just give him the cookies?
Ah! Oh, Lord, you frightened me, child.
What if I just give him the cookies without adding anything?
Oh no, it seems that I dropped the milk and made
Is
a
that an
little
option?
messy wessy. Would you mind grabbing Santa a towel from the bathroom so I can clean up this mess? Now let's play a little game of hide and seek. I'm going to hide, and you're going you found me. Try again. Dang it, you found
Speedrunner,
me
man, let's
again.
go.
I'm gonna hide one more time, and if you find me, you win. Oh, dang it, you win. Meet
I'll
me
have to
in the
talk to him
living
first, I
room.
guess.
Ooh, good job playing hide and seek. But after all that
No, I
hiding
can't
and
grab it.
seeking,
Okay, the
I'm
murder
quite
one is the
hungry.
good ending.
Do you
Okay,
think you could bring me some
cool.
cookies?
I'm just gonna close that. Why was that one of the better games that we played tonight? I'm about to come. All right. 2? Okay. Krampus of Kirkwall. There we go. This game contains flashing lights and loud sounds. Made in 1 month, so may experience minor bugs. Will be patched if so. For the best experience, play with headphones and in a dark room. Understood. No flashing light warning for anyone watching. Okay. What kind of settings we got? Let's go medium on everything. Jump scare. Jump scare. Real footage. I'm moving my mouse. I'm glad you found a tree you like. Drive home safe. This weather isn't getting any better. And remember, keep the TV on. Okay. What the fuck? Ah, God, my ears. All right, keep the TV on. Understood. Froze up there for a second. We'll just go low. Okay, that's too low. That's a bit better. Oh boy. Go red, I guess. There we go. To do. Okay. I already did that. Oh, I need the others as well, I guess. Oh. One. Place tinsel. Okay. I think white would look pretty good. Oh, I gotta spam it. I got a hotkey. Oh shit. TV is still on. Okay. TV still on. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Warning. Kirkwall residents must follow their yearly Christmas warnings. Keep all doors and windows locked. Under no circumstances should you or your family leave the house. All doors and windows locked, okay? Lagging a little bit. Tonight I will catch Santa Claus. Everyone at school tells me he isn't well, I was trying to read that. What the fuck? Santa? Okay, the game has changed. Turn it down a little bit. I guess I'm going straight down. Okay. Kidnapped the Sandy Claus. Santa? Eh, that's just wood, not blood. Okay. Santa! You knocked over our fucking tree! The fuck, man? What the hell? Santa! No! Oh my god, I have to actually untangle the lights. Okay, there we go. Find star. Well, shouldn't I make sure my doors and windows are locked? TV is still on. Oh god. Okay. What's up? Please follow the provided instructions between December 1st until December 25th. It is important for the safety, whatever. Do not approach anyone dressed as Santa Claus. You may only dress as Santa Claus in Kirkwall under the following. You are in a populated public area. It is between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You have no criminal record. Please comply with the following instructions to ensure your house is secure enough. Okay, got you. The TV turned off. And Santa Claus is here. Oh my god. Stop. Stop it. Okay. Nope. 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 Got it. It was a certain pattern. What the fuck? Okay. Didn't I, lock the doors? Santa! No! Make sure to lock all doors and entrances. It is extra important to board up chimneys if you have one. Jump scare? That wasn't bad. I like that. I like that. Yeah, that wasn't bad. It's easy to want more out of games, but that was good for what it was. All right. How many more we got? I think 4 left. 1 through 4. 4. Okay, let me swap to a different song. Let's see. All right, you said 4 Void Home. That's what it's called. Let's get it pulled up. Grab. Oh, I played a few games from them. They're usually all pretty good, so hopefully this one's good as well. Yeah, okay. WASD, mouse, eat, interact, left shift to run. Okay, basic controls. Cool. We are in the chimney. Santa had a lot of presents for the children of this house. But something wasn't right in this place. Ooh, we're lagging. Okay, cool. Gonna be one of those games. Boom. Get Christmased. A special treat. The wait is over. Okay. What is that? Okay. Whatever. Lag! Go back to the other room. What is going on? Damn, I need a better computer so fucking bad. Nothing in here? Oh. Okay. Interesting. Don't know what that's about. But up we go. What was that noise? What was that for? Game's running good in here.
Please don't hurt my children.
I
Leave us
don't-
alone. I'll do anything.
I mean... Oh, I'm being chased, aren't I? Yep. Santa's gotta leave. I'll exit through the window. If I can. I can't. I'm back in the laggy area. Oh, it's loud. I'm going to the chimney. Chimney doesn't exist. Door doesn't exist. Oh, that's why it's called Void. Santa woke up inside the walls of the house. It was claustrophobic, but through those walls he could see infinite emptiness. Okay, game's still going. I'm confused as hell. Oh, that's just sad. That's the sadness doorway. I can't do nothing about it. Okay, let's go the other way, I guess. There's nothing the other way. What do I do? Oh. Figured it out.
Me and my family bought the house 2 months ago before it happened. We assumed someone was messing with us, or even that it was haunted by spirits. Last thing I remember seeing was a headless man standing in the doorway. And look at me now. Can't move. I can only talk to someone I can't even see. A head in a bag.
Can I do something about this head in a bag, or... This is the way I came from. The head in the bag. We're at another sadness door. Another bag. Oh, my footages. Oh, God.
Hello. I hear you nearby. Listen, the house is not haunted. It's not. The house is just waiting for a special treat.
I'm confused. I'm so confused.
That man appeared out of nowhere, just when I was about to leave for work. His head was gone, but he was still somehow able to walk towards me.
That's a
And that's where
brain?
I know it's waiting for a special one. I saw it, and I can still hear it. The house itself is crying, waiting. I can feel its hunger, even after all these years.
Oh, it's laggy again. What was that? What are you?
A man with special abilities. That's a feast worth waiting for. You are finally here. What a joy.
What a joy. It's a Christmas tree! Let's go! Another head. That one was getting jiggy with it. Okay. To the Christmas tree! Merry Christmas.
It used us to lure you in. I know you couldn't save my family, but I hope you can still save yourself. It's the house. It's not a building. It's a plant. A virus rooted on the surface of the earth. A being from centuries ago. Get out while you still can. The door is closing.
Do I just go back? No, I can't. Can't sprint or anything. It's not right now. Oh, it's right here. Hey. Oh, bye. What this? What's going on? I'm so lost. Oh, okay. I'm placing heads now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's not weird. Head of you. Head of you. I didn't even have to say it. It said it for me. The laggy area. I did.
Presents for the children.
Uh-huh.
Years of joy.
Ho ho ho.
You will be remembered.
We. I just want to leave.
Found you.
I don't like that. Oh man. Hey, Scappa. That game was laggy. I liked their other games. This one was just so confusing. It was alright though. It was just extremely confusing. Don't open my web browser. I don't do that. That's not cool. Why? Games. Hey, developers, don't do that. But Scappa? Are you still here? You just played Samsung. How are you? If you are here. I am still burning up. How's Christmas Eve been? Tired, I bet. I'm alright. I got sick earlier today, but I'm all good. We got a chat screen while we're just chatting. Ad break. Whew. Whew. Okay. Mr. Winter, don't forget her. I'm gonna let this just keep playing for a bit. Alright, we got 3 other games. 1, 2, or 3, guys. Yeah, Scappa, pick 1, 2, or 3. Hmm. 1. Alright. Ginger Dead Man. That's what this game is called. Get set up. Ginger Dead Man. Yeah. Dump. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Play. You can interact with blinking objects by looking at them and pressing E. It's time to make a gingerbread man. Yay! Yippee! Let's form a gingerbread man. Well done! It's time to put him into the oven. Let him burn! Perfect! Now how about decorating the Christmas tree? Sure. Oh, wait. What did it say? Pick it up! It might kill him. What do you mean? Oh, sounds like he's done. It is gone, but where did it go? Oh, damn. Hey, buddy. Okay. There you are, but you are not ready yet. Let's decorate it. Now place it next to the milk. Santa will adore this gift. Where's my milk at? Where's my milk? Where my milk at? Oh, there you are. Oh, wait, hold on, I gotta read it. Tomorrow will be a great day. Now, it's time to go to bed. You want to be a good boy, don't you? Don't you? You want to be a good boy? Huh? You want to be a good boy? Go to bed. Santa is coming home. Am I Santa? Drink it. Oh, I'm Santa. Only milk? That's sad. Still deserves a present. He was a good boy. Oh shit! I didn't expect that. I turned around thinking something would be there. Oh fuck. Merry Christmas. Holy shit. Santa's fucking dead. God. Also, here is a cute doggo. That. I don't think that was a dog. I don't think that was a dog. What the fuck? That one got me. That one got me. That one was good. I liked that one. Alright, we got two more. One or two. Oh, well, heads usually say heads first, so I guess we'll go with that. Oh no. Oh no, we have an argument in the chat. One or two, and you've said different options. Damn. Let's go with this one. Fight, 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 fight. I say both of you hop into the stream channel and duke it out to see which one happens. She ain't about it. La 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 la. All right, guys, I don't have a coin to flip. Here, I've got something I can flip. I guess this will be heads, this will be tails. All right, we got heads. So it's number 1. I mean, both are going to be played anyways. Doesn't matter. Sleigh bells. Sleigh spelled like S-L-A-Y. You know, sleigh, bitch. Yes. Josh, can I hear a yippee from you?
Yippee!
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Okay, Scappa, you get in here and do it then.
You shut your fucking mouth. You goddamn mouth.
You get in here and do it, Scappa. Let me hear it.
You shut your fucking mouth.
If you're not in here in the next fucking 10 seconds, I'm taking the W, motherfucker.
I mean that's the rules. LMAO, I can't.
Sorry.
I guess they can't. I guess Josh wins.
Yeah, you fucking suck, Scappa.
I guess Josh wins.
Eat nuts, nerd.
Eat nerd nuts.
You suck.
I'm leaving.
I spilled water all over my fucking body. Oh god.
Get fucked.
Like half of it went in my mouth, and that's it. All right, sleigh bells. Scappa ass. Scapass. I will be waiting for a yippee to happen. Oh, I can't turn it down yet. All right, there we go. I turned it down. Welcome to Sleigh Bells. WSD, sprint. Left click. Zoom is right click. Flashlight. Okay. Gotcha. Sleigh, bitch. Alright. Christmas Eve and I'm still taking my clothes off in this horrible town for money. I better deliver Billy's Christmas present before it gets too late. I wonder if he even remembers what I look like. He hasn't seen me for months. Not since he went to live with his father. Why'd they have to take him from me? I miss my little Billy. Sweet. At least I have a flashlight. Stamina recharges pretty fast. That's nice. Deliver Billy's present. Can I talk to you? No. Is this a Scappa game? Well, I don't know what you mean by that. Can I get run over? No, I can't. Damn. Oh, wait. No. Please. Let me hop on top. Oh, it doesn't carry me with it. No. The white area... Area. That's mean, Josh. I gotta say that. White arrow points to where I need to go, I assume is what it was saying. I can't speak to you guys, can I? I kid. Oh, is it over here? Pussy? What's it? Frosty? Pussy? I heard a cat. I'll just leave the present here. I doubt they'll want to see me right now. I better get home before it gets too late. I don't want to be out after midnight. Merry Christmas, Billy. I can't speak to any of you. I can punch? I almost decked him. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot you can't say Bill for some reason. We can say Billiam. I forgot to check the word list. I wonder what's going on up here. I won't be getting home this way, I guess. I'll have to go through the subway tunnel. It's not that much further. Is it up here? Bunny hop. Alright, into the subway. Tasty burger! A map. The cat and mouse experiment. Hot sausage! What they called me in high school. Oh, damn. Ah! He's been disemboweled. What sort of maniac would do such a thing? I better get out of here before whoever did this comes back. But I have to go, though. I have to get home. Saratosh! Oh, you're still here. That wasn't just a jump scare. Is there anything in the toilet? No. Okay, I got past. All right. What was that? Oh well. Hot sausage! Need a crowbar to open this door, it's jammed. Oh shit, okay. Where would I find a crowbar? Where is he? Found him. Gonna wait for him to walk past. Okay. Is there a crowbar in here all of a sudden? I don't see one. Where would a crowbar be? Did a 360 by accident. Can't get over that. Let me go back this way. Got a crowbar on you, buddy? Where would a crowbar be? Just wait for him to go past. Oh, man! Lord have mercy. Sandy Claus. Is this pointless going down here? I think it's pointless going down here. Yeah, this looks pointless. I'm going past my objective.
Oh God, I'm gonna.
Oh God, I'm gonna. Where you at, Sienna? I don't know where the crowbar is. Where the crowbar at? Somebody Google it. It's not with Tasty Burger. Where you at, Santa? There you are. I do not see a crowbar. Do I need to go back? Oh, I'm in. This is a different bathroom. He's killing policemen now? What a monster. Well. You got a crowbar, buddy. Ho ho ho. I don't know where Santa is right now. I don't want to just go out there and then get spotted. There he is. Alright, I guess I'll backtrack a bit and see if I can find one. I can't go back. Okay. I don't know where the crowbar is. And the marker for the objective is at the door that I need a crowbar for, so it doesn't really tell me where the crowbar is. Can't jump over that. And while I was running past these, I looked at the benches. I didn't see it on a bench. I don't know where the crowbar is, where the crowbar is. I'll loop around with him. Not one here. Can I jump down here? Can. Oh, there's a fucking room over here. That would have been nice to know. He's been cut up really bad, worse than the others. If the lacerations didn't kill him, the blood loss would have. Thank you for the description. Nothing else in here? Crowbar! I heard that. Oh, damn it! You're not that fast. I mean, you're a decent speed, but you're not that fast. Did you lose me? One way to find out. You probably just despawned or something. I can't get in. Not waste all of my stamina. Hot sausage! I did it! Hot sausage! Good, I still have this. Very quiet all of a sudden. I wonder where everyone has gone. Yeah. That. What opened? I thought I could climb on top. Ah! Why do they have to keep locking this gate? I'm so close to getting home. It looks damaged. I might be able to break it down with something. Fucking open up, bitch. Guess a crowbar's not good enough. They have an axe. Fuck you, Santa! Shit! Okay, let's go get the axe again. And then don't run into Santa. Problem is, I don't know exactly where Santa is. I'll just go back the way I was going before. I don't see him. Boom. Okay, let's keep going. Keep her going. What's this? Oh, an eviction notice. An eviction notice? I'm only a few days late on my payment. They must have changed the lock too. My key won't work. I need to get out of here before Santa finds me. The only way out of here is along the train tracks. Okay. Do I have to get up there first, or? Because it looks that way. Alright, how do I get up there? There it is. Let the stamina charge up. Oh, it reset through the loading screen. Cool. Tasty burger. This is what we're doing. Pick up pistol and pistol ammo. Okay. Okay. Crowbar's there. Dead body there. Can I kill Santa? Garbage day! The axe is there. That's there. Over here. Oh, it's ammo. There it is. This. Ha! Miss me, bitch! Ho ho ho! I killed Santa! Let's go! Merry Christmas. That was it. Okay. That was Sleigh Bells. It wasn't bad. It wasn't much, but it wasn't bad. I think we have one more game left. Tornuktu. Get it set up. Oh, here we go. Play Tornuktu. Late one winter polar night, you find yourself unable to sleep, awoken with a strange, uneasy feeling. With your mother fast asleep, you decide to move to the living room. With not much to do, you start reading an old book you found at the town bookstore earlier that day. Tornuktu. The Tornuktu is an evil creature originating from Alaskan folklore. Its physical form is described as having both human and reindeer characteristics. It has the head of a reindeer, but with human teeth, which wrap around its entire face. It has the body of a man, but with hooves for feet. Its skin is pale white, but is covered in black fur, and it has eyes that glow in the night. It is said to be especially tall when on its hind legs, and capable of walking like a human. However, it is also capable of galloping like a deer, and can travel at high speeds in an almost floating manner. I can change the font. Cool. Change it to that. I have read the book. I am in the chimney. Is there anything else? No. Okay. What now? Just look around. Go out the doors. Don't see anything through the windows. Can't go in anything. What am I doing? Hello? Oh, it changed. The Tornuktu is said to only be seen in the months of November through January. During these months, Alaska experiences a quote-unquote time of darkness, also known as polar night, where the sun ceases to rise. It is believed the Tornuktu is unable to attack outside of these months due to a weakness to the sun. Once the polar night starts, the Tornuktu is said to be starving and will begin its hunt, invading people's homes and eating them. It is believed that the Tornuktu targets those who build their homes far from others in secluded places. Thus, to be safe from an attack, people should live closely to one another. Huh. Hello? Mom, wake up! There's a Tornuktu! Mom! Mother! Hello? That's just a... That was just a weird looking snowman. I don't think that was the Tornuktu. The snowman. Oh, great. A sign Tornuktu is near is finding snowman-like figures, which are said to have quote-unquote faces of the dead. It didn't look good. That's correct, yeah. And smell like human corpses. I couldn't smell it. It is believed such figures will surround a house before the Tornuktu attacks. Another sign it might be near is excessive feelings of fear or distress, with no direct cause. Well, I would say that's a pretty clear cause of fear and distress if the house is surrounded by snowmen. Mom! Hello? Oh! Mom, I'm scared. The children. The Tornuktu also carries a bag made of fur, which it uses to steal children from the house it attacks. It is unknown where the children go when they are taken. Some say the Tornuktu eats their soul to attain immortality. Others that it keeps them to eat throughout the rest of the year. Are you still in there? Okay. Mom, you really need to wake up. Like, now. What the fuck? Mom? Well, I guess you woke up. Just not for long. Okay, this one's getting to me. Yeah, this one's good. It is believed the only way the Tornuktu can die is to starve to death. But once it finds a house to attack, there is nothing that can be done to stop it. Oh, that's nice. I'm just dead. Mom? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you're faster than me. That one was good. That one was really good. That was a good one to finish off on. Holy shit. That one was really good. I liked that one.
Some.
Oh, man. I didn't expect to go through all those games that fast, but it happens, I guess. Well, what now? I don't know. Maybe I'll just call it for tonight. I don't know. Yeah, I think we'll call it for today. Tonight. Not many people here, so I'm not gonna do Christmas karaoke or anything like that. But maybe if there's a lot of people here for stream tomorrow, if I find the time to stream tomorrow, then I'll do Christmas karaoke then. Maybe. We'll see. Just depends. Either way, I'm still gonna do like movie nights in the Discord server for Christmas. But yeah, hope everyone here enjoyed the stream, enjoyed the games, and I'll see you guys next time, hopefully. Maybe. We'll see. But I'll go ahead and end the stream. Funstrom, thank you. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.